Welcome back to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show. We have a very special guest tonight. Welcome for the first time on the podcast, musician Yvette Young. What's up?
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is... Let's do it again. What's up? San Jose represent.
Very.
You drove... How long was that drive?
On a good day, 6 hours.
6 hours.
Maybe if I speed a little, 5 hours.
Yeah. Are there Asians up there in San Jose?
Oh, like.
What's predominantly what? Japanese, Korean,
Oh, all
Laos.
of them. Every type of.
Everything.
Every Asian.
Everything.
You asked.
Yeah,
Asians.
in San Jose.
Oh yeah, like I feel like H Mart has just taken over.
Oh, H Mart.
99 Ranch. Like,
Oh, that's all I know about
yeah.
those. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you shop there?
I do.
Okay, so.
Mitsuwa.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So, do you get ramen there? You buy ramen?
I do.
What else you get there? I'm just curious.
Put on the spot. When I'm feeling like I want a quick bite, maybe an onigiri. I do like their like fruit
they have
teas.
pre-made stuff?
Yeah, they have like a good lunch section.
Yeah.
They have like like fruit teas and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I
They
like
got the
their
boba in the mix.
Oh yeah, that's like my biggest vice is
Shout out
boba
to
tea.
the boba in the world.
boba is tight.
What's your favorite kind of boba?
I'm not really like
The teas?
see, I want to have fun, but like not too much fun. So like
What's
get
too much fun?
like full on sugar, like Tiger.
That's
like,
what I'm in there
it's just-
for.
Just
Slushy, the whole thing.
yeah.
The smoothie slushy, all of it.
I'll get like a fruit tea, 25% sugar, 25% ice, maybe aloe. That's my boba order.
Have you been to the half and half where they it's like condensed milk at the bottom and then the coffee's on the top and it's like there's boba in
like
there.
a swirl thing.
Yeah, it's like this. It's kind of like a cold, frothy boba mix, but it's kind of like a cold coffee, but there's condensed cream at the bottom, and it's darker on the top, and it's so
Dang, I've never tried that.
good. It's really good.
You know what I can't get with it is the salted cheese foam stuff. Like, have you ever had that?
Oh,
Doesn't that
good.
sound kind of like vile, like foul?
Yeah.
It's just like
no.
salty cheese and tea. Like that sounds wrong.
No,
It's not
thank you.
natural.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned. So are you? You're not from up there, right? You've been up there how many years?
Well, I was born and raised in San Jose.
Oh,
and then,
you were. You got family up there.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And then I ended up going to UCLA for a bit, so I was here in LA.
How was that?
I was a double majored, art and education.
How hard you got into UCLA?
It's funny because I feel like
Dude,
by Asian
every Asian's dream is to get UCLA or.
Oh man, I feel like by my Asian parents' standards, they were like, you didn't do Stanford, you didn't do Harvard, so. But
Why do Asians hold up? I'm glad you brought that up. Why do Asian parents want those Ivy League schools?
It's like a design. Like, okay, this is just my hot take on college, but you're kind of getting the same education. In fact, like some of the I graduated in 2 years and 1 quarter, because I pushed myself hella hard. Hella, there again, my Bay Area show.
I love that shit.
My Bay Area
Shout out to
showing.
hieroglyphics. We love Hiero here.
But I did like summer school to get through it, and a lot of the professors are from like Ivy Leagues. They're just teaching summer school, so you're getting the same education. But I think like people care about. I'm so sorry. I'm just distraught.
This is where you ignored the fragrance.
Yeah.
This is the thing that caught my nose here.
Caught your nose.
This is what is this called? It's
my Saint Louis Marie. It's my favorite scent.
This is a sweet oak type scent.
It's very
So
sweet.
ladies, This could be kind of unisex too, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you know, I like it because it's kind of agender.
Yeah, I like it.
So-
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah?
It's just a good smell.
It's
So everyone
great.
get your. This is not our official promotion here, but the Maison Louise Marie.
If you're listening,
Mhm.
sponsor me. I was gonna say I feel like it's just like getting a designer brand, you know, like Ivy League. It's like, okay, it looks good.
So
like
it
the
feeds their
Gucci.
ego.
Yeah, I do feel like, okay, so are your parents from here, like
Korea.
Korea?
Where are
My
we?
parents are from Beijing.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
And they like moved here because the Cultural Revolution was kind of
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and they just wanted a better life. So I kind of
Mhm.
understand. Like when I was younger, I was like, my parents are mean, but now I kind of view it as through the lens of like everything they push me to do and all the pressure they put on me. It's just because of fear. It's like fear motivated and love motivated because they want me to do well. So they like put a
Yeah.
lot of pressure on me because they don't want me to be like a fuck up, you know?
What do they think about your tattoo? Like we both
Oh
have
man,
tattoos.
I'm like the black sheep of the family. Like,
Yeah. That's what's up. We're gonna get you music. We're definitely gonna get you music, by the way.
oh, this.
No,
this
I
is
want to. I
fun.
want to stay on the UCLA thing. How much? What's the percentage of Asians there?
It was
Isn't
pretty.
half the campus
It's
Asian?
pretty Asian. Like I don't know. I think I've been privileged enough to always grow up around people who look like me, like in the Bay, at UCLA, like maybe
Yeah.
actually not in my industry, but like
Did you party at all there?
if you call partying, sitting in my room playing guitar, drinking Mountain Dew. I don't know.
Oh, so you weren't even hitting the
No.
frat parties or
See,
nothing
this,
like that.
This is my job. My current job was my rebellion. This shit's my rebellion.
Oh,
you know?
so you weren't partying like that.
I applied to art school kind of secretly.
Oh, wow. Now, are the other Asian, during that time, were other Asians, they're not known for partying, are they?
I lived on Frat Row, Kelton. I don't know if you know where Kelton Avenue
but it was
is.
near the frat houses.
Is right near the frat houses. Like,
So there's temptation there because it's like they rage in every
I don't
night.
know if it was it's
Come on,
temptation.
bro, yeah!
I don't know. If it,
Gangsters, bro, yeah!
I think, yeah, like maybe for some people, but like
Mm-hmm.
a drunk dude pissing on a wall isn't really tempting to me.
Right. And so, and then on top of that, are there like ethnic fraternities or sororities on campus, or were there?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was too alt for some of the
Oh yeah,
the Asian sororities. Like
yeah.
it was funny. They'll like ask my friends who don't like have colored hair and tattoos
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then I walk by and then just
Did they
ignore.
ignore you?
Hard ignore.
Even back then?
Yeah.
So you had tattoos back then?
Yeah, I had one of them, one or two, like the forearm one, and
And then,
Not bad.
and then that was kind of like, oh, she's rebellious, or
like
She's
I don't know if she's a
different.
good fit.
oh
It's
my
fine.
god, yeah. Now, do you think that I always wondered this. Do you think like I'm sure that predominantly all the Asians, I mean, they're probably not a lot like doing drugs on campus.
It's funny because I was an art major, so I just immediately became everyone's go-to shroom hookup for some reason, and I like don't. I do not grow shrooms. I don't really partake in shrooms
Yeah,
either.
why did they just assume
Just 'cause,
you're
like,
a mushroom lady?
Because I remember all these guys from. So I grew up in this like Asian church.
Okay.
My mom made me go, and all the guys there ended up going to UCLA as well. And I remember they hit me up to like, "Hey, you're like in the art department, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you know where I could get shrooms?" Like, I
I
don't know where you could get
It's kind of a generalization.
Yeah.
They just assume
They
that you're on
profiled
LSD or
me.
shrooms or something.
Oh yeah. I was
That's
like,
kind of a weird generalization. Yeah.
I should have just went to the Asian market and got like those, those like soup.
Yeah. Or
this-
you could have.
Just been like,
It's
here you
like
go,
that
man.
movie Go, where she bought the
Yeah.
fake ecstasy.
Yeah.
And like she just got aspirin and she starts slinging
You know,
them at the rave.
Like the Chinese herbal medicine, all that
Yeah.
dried shit. They put
25 a
in.
pop.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You could have done that.
Dang it! I could have
But
been
then
an
they would
entrepreneur.
have. Then they would have had the scene where, if this was a movie, they would figure out they'd eat in there. This is not real.
Or
shrooms.
placebo effect. I could be like, "Whoa, you look crazy right now!" Like,
Oh yeah,
you
you
know.
could say smoke a lot of pot with it, and
yeah,
then they'll just be high but not on the shroom.
yeah.
Now I've always wondered this because you brought up UCLA. A lot of Asian. I don't know if it is like it's like this now, but Asian dudes have a hard time. Like, I noticed like dating. Is that a generalization? Like on campuses across the U.S. Because I'm thinking about like people like Elliot Rodger and Cho Sung Wee from Virginia Tech. You know what happened there. They're all of Asian descent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a moment, and it happened in college. there's a moment where they just snap because of lack of romantic opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think what's that stem from?
I don't know if it stemmed from a lack of romantic opportunities. I feel like whatever they had maybe came from like within them. It's like, and it's just the right environment. It's like the petri dish for that kind of figurative bacteria to grow. So
right.
Yeah.
As far as that type of activity to happen on campuses across the U.S.
Yeah.
It's set up for you.
Yeah.
You gotta take some action though.
I was so averse to dating when I was there. Like
Did you date there?
No. Like I remember I was mortified when this guy asked me out like the first semester. We went for like lunch. It was an innocent lunch, and the waitress brought out like chocolate covered strawberries and like whipped cream just because she assumed that we were on a date. And I was like, oh no.
You had to solidify like, no, this is not.
I was like, oh no. So, and then I remember I was just like in my head and really innocent. So I texted him like, I am so sorry if I like led you on by going to lunch with you. Like,
where was the lunch?
It was at some sushi place in Westwood.
So it made him feel self-conscious a little?
I feel like maybe...
You were self-conscious about it.
Well, I just didn't want to hurt this person because my reaction to her bringing out the strawberries was like, ew, like, no, like, oh, no. And then, like, I was like, that was a little bit, like, drastic. So I texted him, I was like, I'm so sorry and all of that. But
yeah, so you selectively dated in college?
Oh, I didn't
At
really.
all.
I mean,
you were busy studying.
I was busy shredding, man. Like,
I want to get to the shredding. Are we good on time right now? Okay. How did you even get into music? Like before you became a musician? Like, do you remember like the first piece of music you heard and you're like, oh, I like that?
You know, okay, so my history with music is kind of like all over the place. I started out like, you know, I don't know if your parents ever forced you to play piano. It's
Suzuki violin, violin.
I play violin, 2 orchestras, piano.
What is it about Asians and violin
They just like
lessons?
love it. It's like
Why?
the god
Why
tier.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't even. I had no choice.
Yeah.
They just signed me up for Suzuki.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I think they do it for college, but I think there's a lot to be said because it's like once you want to pursue music, they're like, no, like. No, that was supposed to be just like a phase, like, you know. It's just like music should be an end in itself and not like a means to an end.
Yeah.
But I digress. Basically, I started doing classical stuff, and then my parents were like, you need to be a professional concert pianist or whatever, and then I ended up. I
like that they have those attitudes. Because there's other options in life.
Yeah, because all my cousins
you know what I'm
and
saying? Why they're all like that?
I also
it's got to be this way. Harvard, Stanford.
I think it's that fear.
Doctor,
it's like
lawyer.
They think there's this like formula to like what success is, and I think what's important is carving your own path and like
that's what
explain
I'm
that because I don't want to be like a clone of all that. Like I don't even fit. Like
not only that, are you happy when you walk their narrative or their? Is that gonna bring you happiness?
Yeah, I think the point of life is to like find your own way and stop comparing yourself to like other people, and you're not gonna find closure and happiness in that.
Yeah.
I got sick like when they pushed that life on me. I developed an eating disorder when I was in high school. And
I was bulimic because I cut weight wrestling. So
yeah.
I'd throw up all the time to lose weight.
Yeah, for me it was like about control. So I got really sick from it, and that's actually how I got into guitar. So I like hated music for a long time, stepped away from it because I got sick. Then I was like, well, I want to write songs. So I took up guitar when I was in the hospital, and I started like learning other people's music, Radiohead, Creed, you know.
So that was the type of music that you listen to. What about Smashing Pumpkins at all?
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Siamese Dream?
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, I really liked like the grunge tones of like the 90s. But I think at the time I also like I mainly got into like Midwest emo and like twinkle bands. Like I don't know.
Is that the same as shoegazing? Shoegaze?
It's a different genre. There's shoegaze elements, but like you know bands like American Football. That's kind of like Midwest emo ish.
Right. Did you did you get into any of the British sound wave like from the 70, like, like the English Beat and the Specials and Madness and groups like that?
I think I'm
Britain?
a bit late bloomer to all that.
Oh, so you discovered it later.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, right.
You know what? I didn't even listen to Metallica or like Rush or Van Halen until like a couple of years ago. So I'm a mega late bloomer.
I mean, David Lee Roth was just, he's a magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just his outfits alone, magnificent.
Their stage presence is just...
Yeah. What about Queen? You ever get into Queen?
Yeah. Again, late bloomer to Queen.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Freddie Mercury perform like on YouTube or like, he's had some magnificent performances.
It was definitely
captivating.
Like a whole visual experience, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. So going back to Metallica too, now a word from our sponsor.
Steebee Weebee Show is sponsored by Manscaped. A man named Kirk thought he was gonna get gas at my home. Instead, I shaved Kirk's pubes with my lawnmower 4.0. Get the Manscaped Performance Package, which comes with the Lawnmower 4.0, as well as the Weed Whacker Electric Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer. Get 20% off with free shipping with code STEEBEE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code STEEBEE at manscaped.com. Say trick or treat to your beautiful new Halloweenie at manscaped.com.
And we're back. Metallica. I remember, like, I grew up with MTV, and I remember getting scared when their videos would come on, and I would like turn off the TV. And
You're scared of Metallica?
Yeah, I was scared of.
Like,
I was scared of Metallica and like Iron Maiden.
They are very frightening.
But I remember Iron Maiden, specifically Iron Maiden, like their album covers, like Eddie on the cover. It was like more of a horror movie to me. I'm like, stay away from that. That's the devil's music.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Was your family religious growing up? Or?
I mean, it's all mixed up. My mom got into she had one of her friends get her into Jehovah's Witness.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, I was completely like a Bible thumper, completely. Where I was just completely brain like.
Oh no, I get it. Like that's why you'd be like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the indoctrination of religion and the devil and angels and all that.
Yeah, I think there's definitely guilt. Like even doing what I do for a living, I felt like always on the road. Initially when I was like touring and everything, I was like, whoa, like I was sheltered growing up, and now I'm out in the world. I'm watching someone like freebase on a bus. I'm like, dude, like my parents would hate this.
Oh, they would have a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you noticed. So how'd you gravitate towards the guitar or bass or like what made you want to grab that instrument?
I grew up kind of sneaking out to go to shows all the time. So I remember it was, again, my way of rebelling. I grew up watching bands. I was like, oh, it's cool. A bunch of friends on stage playing music and like traveling. That sounds really fun. So naive. Not everyone's friends and it's not always glamour. But yeah, I always thought it was really fun, like kind of making music together with a group of people. That was really alluring to me. And there's something magical about like the environment of shows, because like you can go, I used to go alone all the time, and it's like
you went alone to shows?
Yeah, I'm a freak, right? Like
but I'm sure a lot of people could kind of relate to that. I'm sure there's other people that might watch this that I have a friend like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he went to huge concerts. I'm like, you went alone, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I went there by
Well,
myself.
okay. So like I'm really sensitive, and it's like if I were to drag along a friend who isn't into the music, the whole show I'd be checking on me like, is this okay? Like we can leave. Like so it's almost like selfish. I'm just like I just want to enjoy this and not have to think about anyone else.
If someone else is not having a good time.
Yeah, I don't like want to leave just because someone else is bored. Like, and I'd make friends. Automatically, you have something in common with everyone in the room.
So you would easily make friends at concerts and festivals.
Kind of like I was definitely like I used to do graphic design and stuff for bands, so I'd go and like be like, oh, like you have a band, do you want a logo? And then I was like, cut my teeth on
art? Yeah.
MySpace days.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So did you go to festivals alone as well?
I'm not really a festival person.
Why is that?
It's not like the ideal environment for listening to music, and I'm not really like a crowd. I know I chose the perfect job for not being a crowd person,
So
but
you've never been to Coachella or anything?
I have been to Coachella. I played it with the person I was dating at the time. He had a set and I like guested, but it was a disaster because my guitar was not making any sound. So I went up there ready to do these like epic fuzzed out power chords.
Yeah.
No sound at all. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna dance and be a fool. So no sound. I'm just like playing random bullshit.
You kind of had to commit to it.
Yeah, and then I like threw my pick out into the audience, and then it's hilarious because people afterwards were like, "That was so sick." I'm like, "Cool."
Oh,
I wasn't even plugged in. They don't care. They're like rolling.
Right.
Nobody cares.
That's a big deal to play any stage at Coachella.
Yeah, but I don't want to take credit for it because it wasn't my set. It was like, I was just guesting, so it's not really.
So let's go back to the conception. Like, when did you start taking it seriously? Because, dude, you have a huge following right now. Like, I was looking at your Instagram the other day. I'm like, oh my god, like it's like up there. Like,
it's funny I was an art teacher before I did any of this.
You were an art teacher?
Yeah, I taught. I did a lot of camp stuff, but I also did like portfolio coaching for high schoolers.
Yeah.
I just like my big thing is that like music is a wonderful outlet. It saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if whatever I can do to like help younger people find that outlet, like if they have a turbulent household, music, visual art, dance, poetry, all of it can be like really healing.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if you're not the most outspoken person, which I wasn't.
That's your outlet.
Yeah.
Right.
But then long story short, I quit doing that because touring kind of took over my life. I posted a video on the internet and it went like viral. I didn't even expect it to.
So hold up. That's how you got your start?
Yeah.
It was a viral video?
Yeah, on Facebook of all places.
So this is a couple years back, right?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like 2013 or something.
And then you were just, what was the video of you just playing in your room or something?
Yeah, it was just me, like, I wasn't even like great. It was just me kind of doing like the fingerstyle thing. The thing about Instagram is I didn't even want to get one. I was being that hipster that was like, no, I will die with MySpace. Like, I'm not making a Facebook. I'm not making.
Oh, so like tell what MySpace.
MySpace is a website.
I remember MySpace.
Where you could customize the shit out of your profile. It's like swagged out Facebook. You could HTML code. You could put like glitter graphics.
That.
You could put a JavaScript piano.
Oh yeah.
You can have your own custom cursor. You can
top 8.
Yeah, your MySpace profile could take like 16 minutes to load, but it could be like the sickest thing, and then it would crash the browser.
I mean, there were certain dudes that like this one dude. I went to visit my friend in Long Beach, and he had roommates, and this guy, he would spend all night. He'd use it as a dating site. So he would copy and paste the same message over and over and over and over again. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, this is how you do it. And I'm like, oh that's so crazy. But continue. So MySpace. You could put 4 songs on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had it at the time because it was fun to customize. But after it kind of died, I was like, I don't really care for social media. But then my student at the time, she's a high schooler. She's like, Miss Yvette, you don't have an Instagram? And I was like, no, I don't want to make one. And she's like, I made you one. And then so that night, I remember she made it on my phone, and then it crashed my phone because like I made the account and just like everyone followed it immediately, like thousands. And I didn't even have really anything up except for like one photo of like
your phone crashed because you had so many.
Yeah, it was crazy.
How did it?
I think because it's linked to Facebook, so. Like, I remember waking up when I posted the video, and my inbox, it was like hundreds of messages from people, and I used to reply to everyone, and then I was like, wow, this is gonna be the rest of my
Each
life.
person?
Yeah, I used to try. I just felt guilty. I was like, I'm leaving this person unread, but now I'm like, I don't read anything.
I mean,
I can't.
It's, when did it get to the point where it was like 10,000, like 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15? You know, because it's. What do you start? Was there any moment where you're freaking out, like, oh, it's getting too high, or?
I would just like, it just took too much of my time. I was like, look, like, I want to spend my time creating and playing music. I don't want to just be this like internet person
or the social media.
Yeah, like I just like, I still to this day like don't really want to spend time on the app too much. It's kind of hard because I feel like they incentivize you to like want to engage with stuff because they like it bumps you on the algorithm or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's like important to find a balance between time for creation and also creating for the sake of creation rather than creating for the sake of like making content for mass consumption.
Right.
It's
there is a difference, isn't there?
There is a difference, and you feel it. Like I start to feel depressed when I'm not like really trying to scratching that creative itch, you know. I'm just like, I got to do this video for so and so.
Yeah, and I think like we're in the day and age where people want immediate gratification. So it's like instead of like creating something you're proud of or that satisfies you, you're like, I gotta do the reel and then see who likes it, you know.
And it's crazy because it's like I feel like we just want to kind of lie to ourselves as to like what life is like, because people want a spectacle. Like that kind of stuff does the best, right? Like
that's why there's like Instagram reels now or YouTube short. You notice on YouTube now?
Yeah, and it's like
short
the same.
stories.
You ever see those skits that are like the same brain dead plot that's like regurgitated in like different contexts? Like,
once you paint the scenario,
like me like surprising my wife with like flowers, and then it's like him hiding in different, but it's like the same plot like over and over again. But that kind of stuff just gets engagement and clicks, and it's just I don't know. It's kind of, I wonder where we're gonna go.
Do you get random animal videos? Like
I love them.
Like I just get random like raccoon videos.
Yeah. Oh, my Achilles heel.
I noticed the other week there's a talking parrot video that showed up, and now possum videos are showing up.
So my entire feed, you know how your explore page is kind of like what you're interested in. So I've somehow successfully rooted out all the guitar content because I play guitar for my life. I don't really want to like.
You don't consume that.
I don't want to like look at it anymore, you know. But my whole feed is basically like dogs with really long snouts. I love like borzoi. I think that's the name of that kind of species.
They have longer snouts.
Yeah, long snouts. I get frogs. I love frogs. Snoots. I love lizards. I got a lot of reptiles.
Hell yeah.
Got a lot of bird. I love parrots.
Like what about dog and cat videos?
I'm a dog person.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Have you
cat.
seen the video where puppy meets the bigger dog for the first time?
I probably
so, you know
have.
What I'm saying? So it's like the OG dog,
yeah.
And then the puppy's like in some box, and it's like, you know, it's like or you know, it's like presented a certain way, and then the reveal, and the bigger dog sniffing it and like, you know, pouncing on it.
It looks like you're like humping.
It's like
boom, immediately
and barking at it.
Okay. Yeah.
Why did that show up for me? I don't really. Oh, you know what? I do look up animal content. I like the rescue.
What is your like most looked up thing?
I like
bring up your search.
I like
search history.
I like sword like crime documentaries.
Okay, Sword and Scale.
Like Sword and Scale.
Yo, there is an incredible one about my hometown.
Can we talk about a little bit about it? The story. So what is it about?
Okay, so my friend Drew from the band Dredge recommended me this podcast. And
yeah, I mean, it's Sword and Scale is a crime documentary podcast.
Yeah.
Like basically,
so
it's on YouTube now
there's this
too,
episode basically. So I went to Saratoga High. It's kind of like we used a fake address to go there because it's kind of like a nicer high school. But I guess in Saratoga, apparently there's a robber who goes and robs houses and like there's a lot of mansions and stuff around there. And so he goes to this house and then he's trying to like, he already has a couple of strikes on his record. I think if he has one more strike, he goes to jail. And he discovers a safe and he's trying to open it, but he couldn't open it at the house. So he's like, I'm just going to take the safe with me and then bring it home. And so he brings it home and he opens the safe and lo and behold, it's a bunch of child porn, a bunch of really disturbing like just evidence that alludes to something really sinister and dark happening at that mansion.
No.
And so then he's faced with the predicament.
He got this from the mansion?
Yeah, the safe in the mansion. So he's faced with the predicament: do I return this or throw it away and never mention anything of it? And the child who is suffering continues to.
It's one child or children?
I forgot. I don't know if it's clear, but it's like either I let this continue and I don't get that extra strike, or I turn the safe in, admit how I got it, which is robbing a house, and then get the strike. But I save.
You'll save kids.
You'll save kids. So he ends up. I think he ends up. Well, maybe I won't spoil it. Maybe.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Edge of the seat. He turns it in, and he gets a pardon.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the story behind this mansion then? Like
I don't know.
Who's the villain? Like who's this person?
I don't know.
Really?
I think he did an AMA on Reddit, so
Oh my god.
maybe he answers it there. But yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah. So are you into that kind of content too? The crime
Yeah, I really
documentaries?
like Behind the Bastards as well. That one's really interesting.
Oh, wait. What is that?
It's a podcast about the most sinister like figures in like history. So they'll just do random like there's
like Stalin and Hitler and stuff like that.
yeah, but they also have one on like Mark Zuckerberg or like, you know, there's the really interesting one on President Duterte and the Philippines. That one was fascinating. There's a good one on Steven Seagal. That one was hilarious as well.
Why does Steven Seagal get so much hate?
Look at the man.
But is he a perpetrator?
He is.
Is he a real martial? Let me ask you this: is he a real martial artist, or is he faking the funk?
I think. Well, you know what? I'm not a real martial artist, so I can't judge just from a cursory glance. But he looks.
Does it give you the impression that he's authentic?
No.
And you know why? His interviews.
He lied about being in the Navy.
Arrogant.
He lied about being in the Navy. He thinks he's
stolen valor.
Yes. He thinks he's Asian or something. Cause like
he's not.
No. Like can confirm.
And just because you have a samurai tail, don't make you a samurai man.
Oh my God. Have you seen that? There's this movie where he's like, it's called something like Rising Sun or something. And and he's like, he allegedly stops the Yakuza. And the caption is only one man can stop the Yakuza.
And it's Steven Seagal.
He's wearing a duster. He's
of course he is.
Oh, he's two swords.
Yeah, and then he has the samurai tail.
Have you seen his energy drink?
He has an energy drink?
Yeah.
I don't want to promote it that hard, but
you should watch the
like
commercial. It's like an energy drink. Are
you sure it's
there's two flavors. One is like some berry, and then the other one is, I kid you not, it's called the Asian Experience.
He's not Asian.
But now you can drink your Asian Experience. Yeah, the blue one is called the Asian. There we go.
Oh my God, Steven Seagal's got his own energy drink.
You should see the commercial. It's absurd. He's like at a pool. There's like a wall of amps, and there's like some babe swimming in the Asian Experience, and then he like of course like gropes her, like it's just like, sorry, it's not hilarious that he gropes her, but just like the absurdity of this scene.
It's really called the Asian Experience,
and yet on eBay you can buy a case for $5,000. So if you ever want to,
oh my God,
go ham on.
Why?
I don't know.
Let me ask you this: does Steven Seagal have a rice cooker in his home?
I bet.
He's got 8.
I bet he makes his wife do it.
Is his wife Asian?
Yeah, of course. They've all been Asian.
Oh my God. Of course.
There's this podcast I used to like called I think they're still going on, Cumtown.
Oh yeah.
They have
I've heard of that.
Really good one where they just like roast Steven Seagal movies. They're just like talking over it, and it's really funny.
So that's like fun content when they like watch other people's content. It's a reaction video.
Yeah, it's just like a voiceover thing, but it's on point.
How does a person like that keep getting movies?
I don't know how he has this wealth. He has ties to the Russian mafia or something. Like they recently, I don't know why I know so much about Steven Seagal.
How the hell do you know so much about Steven Seagal?
I don't know. I'm just fascinated with him. He was hired to do some propaganda for Russia recently.
How do you know this?
I see it online.
You were obsessed with Steven Seagal.
I am in love with Steven Seagal.
Where's the Steven Seagal tattoo on you?
It's right here, baby.
You got one?
Just kidding.
What about, do you remember Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Oh, he's like an action guy, right?
Yeah, Bloodsport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who's
would
better,
win?
Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal?
You know, I'll put my money on Jean-Claude.
Yeah, because that Bloodsport was a fantastic movie.
Oh yeah, and Steven's like, one thing that the Cometown guys point out is like in the later movies, instead of like actually fighting, he just sits in a chair while like someone younger does all the work. And then he sleeps with the lady.
Yeah. Does he have kids?
Please no. I don't know.
He probably does.
Yeah.
He does.
Probably.
Wow, I had no idea. That was the last thing I would assume, that you knew so much about Steven Seagal.
He's involved in human trafficking as well, apparently.
What?
How
do you
listen
find
to
out these things?
the Behind the Bastards podcast?
Okay,
but
so
you know
everyone
what?
go check out Behind the Bastards podcast.
He has 7 children. Okay, that's 7 too many.
How did I know that? I knew that. I don't know how.
Maybe
I knew.
you're the real.
No,
Steven
I don't
Seagal
know
fan.
anything about him. I don't know much about him. Now, going back to the music, like, when did you start wanting to record your music? I mean, this is before, like, you got into your first band. Like I want to know about that trajectory. Like,
my first band was in Glendale. When
really?
I was in college, yeah, I formed a garage band. Jordan, Cameron, Daniel, shout out if you're listening.
What's the name of the band?
I'm embarrassed.
Can you really show 'em some love?
It's okay. We were called. It sounds hella stonery. We were called
okay, it's okay.
Astrochasm.
What?
Astrochasm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And we started, like, we chose the band because we all wrote words on Post-it notes, and we just picked 2, and Astro and then Chasm
I like that.
came together.
I like that. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
It sounds science fiction too.
is a garage band
Yeah.
in Glendale. And
What
we,
kind of music were y'all making?
like, kind of already like tapping like math rock stuff, kind of like
Oh yeah.
played in Ibanez RG.
What is another example? My brother tried explaining math rock to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was talking about like not Rocket from the Crypt. Oh, Drive Like Jehu.
Yeah, Drive Like Jehu.
Yeah.
They're
Bands like that. And
It's
he
like
goes,
prog.
Yeah, and I go, what kind of? He's like, dude, it's math rock, bro. I'm like, so can you describe to the viewers and listeners, how do you define math rock?
I would say that it's a subset of progressive rock music.
Yeah.
It's actually by itself quite broad. Like you can get bands like Don Caballero. They're kind of like considered math rock, but they're on the more grungy punk garage rock side. And then you get more polished bands like Color or TTNG, and they're like twinkly,
Right.
like kind of like more poppy.
Right. But is it because they say math, right?
Yeah,
So it's got to be mathematical.
So it's like it's not like there's an Asian joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. No, I don't got one. Yeah, I don't got one for that. Yeah, I don't want to. No, but I noticed when I was listening to it, it goes. It's like even the cadence. It's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's characterized by compound meter, like irregular time
that's
signatures.
how you describe that.
Yeah. So it's like what I liked about it was
Yeah.
like I feel like with music, a lot of it's dancey because it's like it's predictable. You can feel the one. You can feel that downbeat.
So
it's like a pulse. But
Math
in
rock
math
is
rock,
predictable.
it's not.
It's not
like it's just
predictable. It's
throwing it off.
unorthodox.
Yeah, it's like. But then this is like a funny video of a guy. There's this math rock band called Giraffes Drafts, and it's a
Yeah.
guy trying to dance to Giraffes Drafts, and it's like really, really funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still make it dancey. Like for instance, in my band, I do
You could make math rock dancing.
I try to do polyrhythms, but make people dance to it and stuff like that. So.
Do you have to have a mathematical brain to create math rock?
No, I'm an idiot. Like I don't know. I'm not counting anything.
You're not counting bars
Yeah.
or notes and
Yeah.
measures, nothing like that.
But I think from my classical background, I kind of like already have it in my language. Like it's like internalized that odd meter, compound meter thing. So for me,
Yeah.
it like comes naturally to
Wait, say that term again. What is it called?
compound meter, like
Yeah,
odd
is that
meter.
that's a real term.
Yeah, it just means like putting two, like for instance, juxtaposing a bar of 3 with a bar of 4, which is
Oh, that's what it is. The way I was kind of doing. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Compound. Can you write that down? Compound
Yeah.
meter. I didn't know there was a term.
I can
for
give
it.
like a recommendation: math rock gateway band playlist.
Yeah. So you were a kind of combination of those all fused together, like math rock. With
Yeah, like
What did you say? Glamour, glitter. Wait, what did you say? You said some other word too. It was like not glitter.
grungy.
No. You said it was like glitter.
Oh, twinkly.
Twinkle.
Twinkle.
So is that a
That's
real
like
thing?
yeah. There's like a genre called like twinkle rock, and it's like
right down to a
kind of like it kind of is characterized by open tuning, clean tone guitars. It's to describe the guitar tone, like twinkly.
Can you, in the mic, can you try to duplicate a little twinkle rock?
Yeah, like
Yeah, just the
Well,
best of your ability.
like,
I'm not trying to put you on the spot because I'm trying to understand it. I learn better hearing it. Go ahead.
like wanna weena. Like, you know, like
just commit to it.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take your time.
I'm
I'm trying to understand it because I don't know it. Yeah.
It's like
Stick with the weenie. The weenie.
I'm just saying weenie.
Yeah. So
Wait, it's like weena.
keep going.
Okay, weena.
Keep going. Commit to it.
I'm just saying wieners,
Okay,
like
no,
nonstop. Like doodly.
Oh, no, that's
Like
a little
pull offs,
different.
like that's a pull off. Like
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's a pull off.
Yeah.
Keep going with
That's
it.
a
Yeah, do one
Oh my
more bar
gosh.
of it.
Okay. Like boom. Ja winning. Like I don't like it's like usually like juxtaposed with like chord jobs.
Oh, I think I understand now.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Like okay, like Tiny Moving Parts. That's a band that you can listen to.
You know a lot of these bands. I don't know much about that.
I'm a big music dork.
Yeah.
What can I say?
You ever get into like the sub pop groups, like
Yeah, like
Built to Spill?
Built to Spill.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like bands like was Shoo Shoo a sub pop
Oh, I
thing?
don't know much.
They're
about
like
it,
I think they're Sargent House. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
God, there's so many. I just realized there's so many subgenres of genres.
It's too much damn music.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Lindas?
They're sick.
So their kids aren't like.
Yeah.
How old are these kids? There's 4.
I have no idea,
girls in it,
but
right?
I love what they're doing, and it's really wholesome to see.
Are you a fan of Karen O?
Yeah, she's awesome as well.
Have you met her?
I've never no. I've
Oh,
never met
but
these.
you like you're familiar with the yeahs and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't grow up listening to them, but like I feel like I listened to like yeah adjacent bands.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
with Astroclasm.
Oh my god.
Okay, so how long was that run? You guys did local shows?
Yeah, and then my mom was like, "You can't live in LA anymore. It's corrupting your brain." So she like
said that.
Yeah, you know, because LA's. I think she just felt nervous about me like being in a rock band and like living this new thug life.
Yeah.
Life of crime. So she moved me back to San Jose, and then that band had to end. I remember everyone was kind of like bummed about that, but then that's when I started kind of just writing more stuff in my bedroom, and that's kind of when things took off, and then Covet was formed.
Covet. Okay, let's talk about Covet. Like, how many members in Covet?
Now one. I recently let go of both of my members.
So what kind of music was Covet?
I guess like it's everything I love, like post rock, grunge, shoegaze, math rock, prog. It's like everything I adore about music, crammed into one sound.
Wow. And then what made you kind of conceptualize that? Were you in your room and you're like, I want to form my own thing?
I was just writing for fun. Like I didn't think I'd start a band, but then at the time I asked, I guess like my bass player at the time, I was like, "Do you want to join my band?" And
this
then
is in San Jose.
Yeah, in San Jose.
Okay. And is there a music scene there too as well?
Yeah, there's like a bit of like it's like all over the place. A lot of punk. I grew up playing like house shows and stuff. Like I'd go to house shows and I cut my teeth doing those.
Oh hell yeah!
With acoustic even.
Right.
So
and then were you doing recordings inside the house too? Like
yeah, my first record was in a garage, like, and then I upgraded to some other guy's garage, and then
what type of gear were you recording on?
I was just like a laptop and probably an SM57 or something. I don't know. Like I recently learned how to properly record myself through quarantine.
Yeah, you're self-taught.
I wouldn't say that I'm like like a master like recording engineer or anything, but I can track a demo.
Really?
Yeah.
So I didn't realize audio interface is important, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can.
I didn't realize how important it was because I'm like, like the type of music I'm doing, like more like drum machines and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I can't get this into that unless I have a interface.
There's really cool devices now, like if like a Line 6 Helix, you can use that as an interface in itself, so it's like all your tones in one thing, and you can plug that directly to. This isn't a Line 6 plug. I just like the technology.
Yeah. What is that? Is that's like a box or something?
It's like a basically all this pedals and stuff. Like you can get all of that in this one unit.
Oh, like the guitar pedal.
Yeah, so you can get
all in a unit.
all in like one thing, and it's ideal for touring musicians who
they
travel a
programming
lot.
it?
Yeah, like, and
The
you can
fuzzy
you can
sound
like
and the
make it
distortion?
like it's like a supercomputer of tones.
That's so
And
cool.
it's really useful. But then, you know, honestly, my USB mic came in clutch many times when I didn't have an interface with me, and I just like use USB mic directly into my computer,
Oh, and that works too.
and that works great. I've done some recordings, and they were like, "Oh, I love that! Like, it has so much character. Like, what mic did you use?" I'm like,
Right.
USB mic directly in
How
laptop.
much can you get a USB mic for?
Logitech makes a great one. The Blue Yeti, that one's pretty.
Yeah, how much is it?
I don't know. I think it was like 100 something.
Oh, that's pretty affordable.
It's pretty affordable.
You know, can I tell you? And I realized because I went to Sam Ashton's Guitar Center,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking around, and I'm like, oh, I mean, okay, I could get one of the cheapest ones, like $160 or something. But then I didn't realize. See that Zoom that I have already?
Yes.
I noticed that when I was playing Warzone, because I play video games, that when I hook it up to my Elgato, that's whatever, it's the medium to hook from the computer to the Xbox and stuff to record the footage on the computer, that can be used as an audio interface.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
A lot
and
of
I
things are-
I did the math. I went, oh, I already have it. I already have the thing. I don't have to buy the other thing. I spent like $400 on that.
It's crazy. Have you ever have you ever driven in a Tesla?
Oh, I've been in it.
They have a DAW, a digital audio workstation in the Tesla.
In the car?
Yeah, I tried it. I tried to make us a beat in a Tesla.
In the Tesla?
Yeah, in the Tesla. They have like their stock sounds. It's hilarious. Like every sound is the same. But
you could do it, that's in the car like system.
yeah, I want to make the first like all Tesla album.
You could do a Tesla album.
Yeah.
Can you kind of hook up your guitar into it?
You should be able to, but you have to. It's like MIDI. You like just program it in.
That's so cool.
But what you could do is you could make a Tesla beat like out of their stock percussion and export it and then import it into your computer.
They
And
have
then
stock percussion in the car,
yeah, it's
like kick and snare.
yeah,
sounds
it's
and
hilarious.
hi-hat
It's
sound?
so funny. Yeah.
So I'm guessing is it similar to like the first version of guitar? GarageBand. I mean.
Yeah, it's like it feels like a child's toy for sure.
So it's
but
like tick 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 tick.
Yeah.
Tick tick.
like
tick,
I think they call it like there's like a Congo drum, but it sounds exactly the same as like
Oh,
a snare.
that's so good. You know a lot of interesting technical information
About Steven Seagal.
No, I'm not bringing Steven up again. I'm saying about like what's out there, like as far as gear and stuff like that.
It's my profession
Yeah,
after
so,
all,
yeah.
so I'm just exposed to a bunch of it.
So do you like learning about new gadgets and amps?
You know, I wish I was more enthusiastic about it. I feel like I'm very practical in that, like I'm quite happy with like my workflow and like what I'm really busy, so it's like I don't have much time to learn new technology. When you learn something new, you have to allot time for you sucking at it, right? And I don't have a
Right.
lot of time to like suck at something and make mistakes. That's why quarantine was kind of dope, because like I was
That's
able
how you
to
learn all your stuff.
yeah, I learned how to record because I suddenly had time to make bad recordings. It didn't matter.
So how
right?
did you? What was that process like? Was it trial and error?
Yeah, and I had a bunch of friends who I would FaceTime and stuff, and I'd be like, "Can you teach me how to like parallel process this thing?" And
What
they
does that mean?
it means like you can like basically. So let's say in production, or I'm not an expert, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering this explanation.
No, that's fine. No.
But like if you wanted, like you have a really nice reverb, and then you put it on, like you put the reverb on the dry guitar, right? Dry. When I talk about dry, I refer to it being unaffected, so just clean tone, nothing. So you put the reverb on the dry guitar, but the problem is you lose a lot of attack and clarity, and the reverb like fully muddies the sound and it darkens it usually. But then you lessen the reverb, but then the decay of it, you're missing the sustain, and you're missing some of that character that's in the reverb. So if you were to parallel process it, you could run your clean tone guitar basically on top of the reverb. So what it allows you to do is have a more dramatically affected reverb without impacting how much clarity you have on the original guitar.
Yeah, dude. I better start taking notes here.
I don't. This
I
is
feel
all
like
stuff.
I feel like I'm
I
in a
don't-
music class. Or
I don't know
something.
much.
Oh, well,
admittedly.
you obviously do, because like that was like I felt like wow, that was a lot of
It's
information.
cool. And then like YouTube, like no, I'm honestly like I need to stop watching like unusual meme compilations and start watching more like how-tos, because I feel like the internet is such a wealth of information. You can teach yourself to do anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Now, as far as investments, did you invest in new gear during quarantine?
I did do a few. I did a lot of pedal demos during quarantine,
did?
actually. So I guess I did invest in new gear during that time. I honestly, I'm due to buy some new mics. I feel like I could use an upgrade.
Really?
I don't know what I'm gonna get yet, but I'm kind of just using the same condenser, the same like SM58 for like vocals or something.
How
so.
much for like a legit good compressor mic? Like how much do you have to invest in something like that?
I don't really. I don't
Give me a
remember.
ballpark
I don't
estimate.
remember how I. I don't remember how much I
These we're
paid.
using here are the cheapest ones you could get at Sam Ash.
Okay.
These are like $29.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know for like 90. I think you can get like something. I don't know.
Really?
I don't want to. I don't know what's
Oh,
decent.
Okay.
I don't even remember what I paid for
I'm just
it.
curious because you seem like you know a lot about all this stuff. So I'm asking.
Not the recording world. I feel
Oh,
like
but
that's
you're
the
learning?
world that I'm learning, and I'm
Yeah.
really like I'm really interested in. What I realized is I'm less of a performer. Like I don't really thrive in front of crowds. Like I'm more of like a.
But that's what you do, though.
I
You do
know,
that-
isn't that funny?
That's
It's
so
like-
ironic.
But like I really love songwriting. Like when I rank performing, recording, and songwriting is my favorite. Like I like feel like when I write music, I feel like I'm falling in love. It's just such a good process.
Uh-huh.
And then recording, it's fun because you get to record the ideal version of what you
or
wrote.
your idea.
Yeah, and it's so magical watching this abstract, nebulous thing in your mind come into fruition.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's different from live because recording, no limits. You don't have to sound like your live self. Like you can do all kinds of cool
There's
production
no
stuff.
rules too. You can
Yeah,
do
you
whatever
can
want.
go crazy. You can process your vocals in crazy ways. You can do all kinds of like, I don't know, like, I just, yeah. Anyway, you can just do a lot that you can't do live. And then performing is my least favorite because it's like, I feel like I haven't played a show where I sound like my ideal self yet.
Well, thanks for your honesty.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's fun to try to get close, but I'm not there yet, and it's
right.
frustrating,
Uh-huh.
and I also get nervous. So,
You still get the butterflies?
oh yeah.
You do.
Like I'm fine behind a guitar. Like this to me is safety, but once I have to interact in the mic and say something, I'm like, don't say something offensive.
and there's a
Don't
crowd
say
involved.
yeah. Yeah.
So how did you get to a point where you're at now, where you did your band thing, and then where you're starting to? This is your profession, isn't it? Now at this
Mhm.
point, when did it get to that point?
When I quit my job. When I was like, I better treat this like a 9 to 5 now, cuz I just took the plunge
Into music.
into music full time.
So how do you get to that point? Like, how do you get work as a musician? Like,
I just got like, honestly, I balanced both for as long as I could before I was like, I'm reaching a point where I'm sacrificing how much my creative output is because I'm just like teaching from 9 to 5 and then I go home and I'm tired. So I'm like, I might as well give it a shot when I'm young
yeah.
and take it seriously. I still view it as a gift. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, okay, yeah, I worked hard. Okay, yeah, maybe I do something that's like unique or whatever. But I was at the right place at the right time, and it's a gift to be able to do what you love for a living.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just want to work really hard to feel like I deserve it every day, especially because I quit a job
Yeah.
to like.
So how did you do you have like a manager or some
Mhm.
kind of agency
I have
that gets musicians work, or
A booking agent. I have a manager who helps me with my band stuff and my solo stuff, and then I have a label, and then I have
what's the name of the label?
Triple Crown.
Triple
But
Crown?
Triple Crown,
So check out Triple Crown stuff.
yeah,
How many acts on it?
a bunch. Shout out to my friends on the label, Caspian,
Shout out some bands. Go ahead, go ahead.
Tiny Moving Parts, Caspian.
Tiny Moving Parts is on the label.
Yeah,
So shout out to Tiny Moving
yeah,
Parts. Great name.
yeah, they're
Great
so
name of a
fun.
group.
They're
Yeah.
such a fun group to watch
Uh-huh.
live. There's some emo bands. Oh shoot, I'm like blanking on the name.
But it's your label.
It's not my label,
Oh, it's
but
not
I'm
your
like
per se.
I'm
but
like on the label.
you're on the label.
A label is basically like a collective of artists that
yeah,
like
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
so-
Sub Pop. Or
yeah,
this or that.
exactly. Yeah.
How did you get to the point where you were got on the label?
We honestly, this is some like fairy tale shit. It's not what usually happens, but we got lucky enough that we played a show with no album out. Like we did a tour with this band Chon. Shout out Chon, they're cool.
Yeah.
And they just took a gamble on us and they brought us out. And then we were able at one of the shows there was this booking agent, and he was like, I really liked your guys' show. I'd like to book you. So
And you
typical.
didn't have an EP, even an EP out or anything?
Nothing.
Then what were you guys performing?
Songs. It was just because of my social media presence.
Oh my god.
It's crazy. It kind of speaks to the power of like these days you don't really need a label. I know I'm on one, but it's just like honestly, you gain enough traction, you can just
do it on
promote yourself if you have enough of a follow. That's like I think that is people want followers. I think they lose sight of why that's so important is because like
they'll buy the tickets to your show.
Yeah, it's
they'll
like
buy your record. Right?
Yeah. Although these days it's like kind of disheartening because I feel like an Instagram Meta or whatever, they want you to pay for stuff. So they'll like cut your reach. And it made it really hard for a lot of my visual artist friends and like musician friends to like promote their stuff because all of a sudden their reach is like nothing.
So what's the name of the group on the label as we speak now?
The group on the label?
Yeah, yeah.
You mean my band?
Yeah, your band.
We're still Covet. I have a tour next month.
Let's start plugging the Covet stuff.
This one's really interesting because, like I mentioned, I just let go of both my bandmates, and it had to be done. I felt like I was gonna quit
It's business too, right?
I was gonna quit my own project because I just felt so depressed being around that environment. So I was like, well, this sucks. It's my project. I write everything for it, so I might as well try to start over.
So you're doing
clean
everything?
a house. I do. I always did everything.
So
but
you're a one-person machine, a one-person band.
The only thing I didn't do was write the drums. So
okay.
Yeah, but I do the art. All the visual art is mine.
95%.
Oh, yeah, 90.
Stuff.
Like yeah, probably.
That's
I wrote
lot.
all the songs. All of the songs are me, and it sucks because like.
So they were just playing pool out there and just.
It's a lot. Like.
Oh man.
Yeah. Not to get too negative, but I just had to let go. I had to try something new. So I got session players. I'm actually in LA right now because I'm going to practice with the new session people who I'm really excited about.
That's so cool.
And we're doing this tour next month, and it's called the Rebirth Tour because I'm literally...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's called the Rebirth Tour because I'm literally starting over. And
but the name of the band's Covet.
Yeah.
Covet.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's the best way of the viewers and listeners could support your music right now?
I would say, like, buy merch. Come to a show. Buy merch.
Your website too, or?
Right now it's if you go to my Instagram, there's like a link in my bio to all the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Let's plug your Instagram now.
My Instagram is Yvette Young. My name.
Spell it out for me.
YVETTEYOUNG, and my band is Covet, and it's Covet Band on Instagram.
Now, could someone go on a website right now and get a T-shirt or a beanie or something?
We might be sold out on our web store, but we this upcoming tour, which is full US, I think. Well, I've designed a bunch of new merch that I'm really excited about. Yeah,
for the tour.
Yeah, the logo is a phoenix because like
that's
rebirth coming out of.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot of shit.
Oh
so.
yeah. And so what's the itinerary? Where could the viewers and listeners? Let's say you're gonna go to their town. Like, how do they see if you're gonna go to Boulder, Colorado, or here or there? Like, is it on the website?
Yeah, the dates are listed in my bio, and then I have like a flyer that my friend Kelly designed. That's like it's got all the dates on Instagram.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you've come a long way.
It's been a journey, dude. I've been through
It's a
some
journey.
shit. I'd never thought when you told like little me teaching at that art school that I would have to like learn some of these skills and go through some of these things. I think I would have chickened out.
Really?
But the point in life is you don't know what kinds of obstacles you're going to face, and you never like life is indifferent. It's going to throw bullshit at you.
Is life really like a box of chocolates?
It's like a box of poop. Like, I'm just kidding. And maybe some chocolate in there if you're
Shout
lucky.
out to Forrest Gump. Dude, but you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I do feel like, okay, I have this.
You're self-sustained now. You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Got the label, got the booking agent, got everything's set up now.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. Like, I got to stress that. Like, I feel like
It's hard for musicians, man.
Yeah.
You got to hustle. Because I have homies that are musicians. They're constantly like hustling or jumping on different tours or switching bands, doing this and that.
See, that is such a big source of like why I want to do. Because like the point in me headlining tours is I want to bring everyone that I think is sick onto the tour, and I want to showcase like people that I feel like fucking deserve it
because
like,
they've been grinding.
Yeah, I like the
Since
point
like
of
1990, whatever.
I work hard because I this genre is already niche enough. Like I recognize that maybe it's never gonna play like Coachella or whatever, but there's a chance. So it's like I want to work hard so I
Things are
can
different now.
raise the ceiling for everyone else to like be able to do that kind of stuff too.
Oh, absolutely.
And like
You're
I don't know.
in the position to do that now, aren't you?
Yeah,
Don't you
and
think?
it's so exciting because like I have so many friends who are dumb talented, like way better than me. Like and that's not a slight against anyone. Like I'm fine saying that, but they're just like so good, but they're just not visible. Like
exactly, and you need other aspects like their networking
and I like
or whatever.
I'm just
that.
like so stoked on them. I'm like people need like you need to go out there like any
But
any
then
way
you
it
can
can
give
help.
them opportunities. Now.
Yeah, it feels good
Yeah.
to pay it forward.
Now, was this hard for you? An hour went by already.
Dang, no, it's
Yeah.
hella easy.
Yeah. So, did we plug everything? So your Instagram, your website, and then Covet. We already. Did we?
Oh yeah, I'm not. It's fine. You can.
No, well, that's what I like to do. I like
Okay.
to give you the platform to.
Thank you.
We got it, huh? So thanks, dude. The best of luck to you.
Of course.
And good luck on your tour.
Thank
and
you.
have fun. That's important too.
Let me know if you want to come out to a math rock
I would.
show.
I would love to. I would
Yeah,
love to
I'll
check it
guest
out.
you.
Like I could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just hit me
stand
up.
in the back and just check it out. Yeah,
You
I
can
don't drink
stand-
alcohol or anything.
I don't
either.
drink either.
Yeah, I don't. I'm kind of straight edge there. I just kind of. I mean,
fine.
I do this.
That's
and-
fine. I'm like the most boring person.
Yeah, I've been sober like 15 years now. I don't even smoke pot. Yeah.
Are you being sarcastic? or-
No.
Okay, I don't, because I never touched
No,
it.
no. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things I need to get going on with that. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show. Definitely catch her in a town near you. Definitely support Covet. Okay? Download it, listen to it, spread the word. Okay? It's going to be a fun tour. Is it a national tour?
It is.
Are you going to the East Coast too? Midwest? All that?
Yeah, just from driving from California to New York and back. So
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. And go to the shows and buy the merch. Buy the merch at the shows. Buy the merch. If you want to help support this platform, the podcast, go to patreon.com/SteebeeWeebee. I do another podcast with my buddy and comedian Jeremiah Watkins called Scissor Bros. Those episodes drop every Friday. Go to that YouTube channel, youtube.com/scissorbros. Subscribe there. Support that. Watch the content. Like it. Tell a friend. Okay, I do have a P.O. box. If you want to send any mail or packages or anything, send all your stuff to 1425 North Cherokee Avenue, P.O. Box 1391, LA, California 90093. And yeah, safe travels back up to, yeah. You drove me
Santa
back?
Ana tonight.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
what's up, dude. That was awesome. The
Yeah.
best of luck to you. You're there. You're there.
Thank you.
I would like to go to a math rock thing.
Yeah, come
Do I
through.
need earplugs?
Yeah, it is. I'm loud.
I need earplugs.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Yeah. I know.
What music do you like to listen to?
I like everything. I mean,
Okay.
I'm almost on the other end of the spectrum. I'm more like I grew up with underground hip hop stuff.
Okay.
That's why I like hieroglyphics.
Respect.
And
We
and
do
all
some
that
Jay
stuff.
Dilla beats. in the
Yeah,
back,
yeah. I'm a fan of all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm more like I like the '90s stuff. I'm like in a
Okay.
little bubble with that. It's like I don't even know as far as like rap and stuff. I don't really know what's out there right now. I don't know about like the drill music or the drill rap.
There's so much. It's too
There's
much.
there's
music.
genres in that too, and we could talk another hour about that. I don't know. I don't know.
It's cool.
I like what I like though. Like I grew up with like Diggable Planets and De La
course.
Soul and
Okay, De La Soul.
and
I got a
Tribe.
De La Soul cassette
yeah,
tape.
yeah. So I like that stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know how if kids are like hip. They that's such a specific genre and a specific time. So I don't know. I still use this the same thing that
That's
like,
so cool.
Jay Dilla and Madlib, they've used this. So I use this is the only thing I use for
You
production.
rap, right?
Yeah, I have. So
Okay.
SteebeeWeebieBandcamp.com. Yeah, I do. I just put out my own stuff like
cool.
just on my Bandcamp and whatnot. So I do it mostly for it's just like you were saying, it's more of an outlet and art.
Are the lyrics personal to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I spend a lot of I spend the most time on the production and just the writing, and I don't care how it sounds. Like I could this is an 8-track. I could record something on this 8-track thing. I don't care if it's on the best Pro Tools setup. I just as long as I like the lo-fi stuff anyway. Like
I feel that you know
what I
what
mean?
like
I don't care. I like the fuzziness.
dude,
and
I think
doesn't
like
have to be perfect.
being pretentious about stuff Like it doesn't really help because it's like if you like
I just
it,
want my idea
so
out.
be it. Yeah.
If I can record it on something, and because I got a lot of shtick
Yeah.
for that too. They're like, dude, like the sound quality's not up to par, bro. You shouldn't record, put out music like blah 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 blah. Because like I've had those kinds of DMs, and I'm
The
like,
critic.
and well, I'm just like, I had to explain to this one particular person. It's like, I want it to sound bad.
Yeah, I get it. Like
You
some
know,
people.
like I like Daniel Johnston. He recorded like he had in a garage,
Yeah.
an organ, and 2 cassette recorders.
Yeah.
That's how he put out his stuff.
Straight, I think people are so used to listening to like really polished stuff. Straight up, like people will record like in like a $10,000 studio and then use plugins to degrade that recording and
to make
like,
it sound like it's a 4-track.
to make it sound like you.
Yeah,
So it's
like or a reel to reel.
It's
like,
so subjective anyway, and it's like, you know
Yeah.
what? The only justification you need for your art and putting out is I like it and I like it this way.
yeah, I got
like,
the idea down.
yeah.
It's not,
What can they say? Like, oh, like your recording sucks. Well, I like it this way. Okay.
And I told the
End
guy
of
I want it to
discussion.
sound bad.
Yeah.
I want it to sound bad. I don't
Yeah.
want it to sound good.
I get it. It's like a
I like the
stylistic.
distortion.
Yeah.
I like that you get.
Oh, people like want that distortion so bad. Deadass. I used this Target keyboard. It was like a cat keyboard, and there's this like synth patch on it, and I played it, and it's just like, ooh, this is like breaking. This is distorting so nice. And then people were like, "What is that tone?" I'm like, "It is a Target keyboard.
Exactly.
It's for children.
I
It's a
love
children's
that.
toy."
Yeah.
But it's great. Like,
And I do it. Look, it's personal to me at this point. Like, I just do it. It's like painting or something. It's like I still have ideas, and if I want to put something out like on my Bandcamp, I'll do it. Like I'm working on something now. I just got started on it, but
it's cool.
it's like I'm just thinking, well, I don't really care much as far as the highest quality, because I know it's not going to be on the radio or anything. I
Yeah.
know that. I know it's a small microcosm of people that like what I do or whatever. It's like lo-fi stuff, and it's like a specific genre.
Yeah.
It's like so it's just self-gratifying for me. It's to get it out of my system.
The moment you start making stuff to appease like other
No, I
people,
can't do that.
your
I can't do
passion for it's gonna die.
Oh, of course.
That's been like quintessential and
Oh,
like
yeah,
for
yeah.
what I do. It's like I can't like listen to that shit.
Oh no.
It's noise.
And then I can't live with that. I'll
Yeah.
lose sleep over that. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I kind of, that's not really me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like as long as you're proud of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I wish we could have, I like talking about stuff like
Yeah.
this. Yeah. You're always welcome here. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
talking
have me
about
back.
I didn't think that, to me, it's like, it's so personal. It's
I get
personal
it.
to me.
It should
Thanks
be.
for tuning in, y'all. Yo.